I think for many Black women, they think HIV is something that just really affects gay men. Medical racism is one of the reasons that we see the disproportionate impact in Black women.
There is no law that says you have to settle for a man.
Kids, but I can catch
sickle cells. And she was like, your cousin. He's like, damn, he got sickle cells too? So she's like, what are you talking about? He's like, nah, he got HIV.
66% of new cases of HIV in women were actually among Black women.
As HIV diagnoses continue to fall among gay and bisexual men in the UK, the same progress isn't reflected among women and ethnic minorities, making Black women a high-risk group for HIV.
I think for many Black women, they think HIV is something that just really affects gay men. Medical racism is one of the reasons that we see the disproportionate impact in Black women. Many Black women are untrusting of the health system, and it's not surprising. I've heard cases of women living with HIV talking about side effects of treatment and the fact that they're putting on a lot of weight. And one person told me, an HIV doctor said to her, oh, well, you know, you Black women, you like being big, so it's not so much of a problem. The reality is that HIV has changed. However, stigma around HIV continues, and often Black women face the brunt of that.
I'll tell you what's happening. And it's happening in the States too, right? What's going on is not a lot of Black men are affected with this. And what does it go hand in hand with? You hear it every time in spaces, male spaces, the 80-20 rule, right? Where 80% are with 20% of the guys. I think in the Black community, it's even lower, right? Because they're all getting with Pookie and Ray Ray. And that's so much lower. Like Pookie and Ray Ray, like the guys going to jail, is even lower than that. The ones they having all the kids with is lower. So maybe like around 10%, right? And that's who's giving them these things. Why? They sleeping with all of the women who have it, and they're giving it to all the women. You're all getting it from the same guys. And men have said, shout it to the mountaintops for the longest time. This is the issue. These are the numbers. This is who you're all chasing. This is who you're all continuously sleeping with. All of you are having babies by these same guys. And now look, you have this issue, and I bet you, and most likely, men don't have it. The numbers are much lower for men.
Diagnosed yet. And wait, Hoya, what do I have?
HIV.
You guys, she's telling people that I have HIV. I don't even have HIV. I literally have ADHD, but she doesn't know how to say that in English. She keeps saying I have HIV. Why do I see her telling her friend that I literally have HIV? I'm thinking, why is she shuffling away from me? She's out here telling people that I have HIV. You guys, I have ADHD.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you got to correct your moms with that. Your mom, she going to have people thinking you sickly. That's why I thought that was a little funny. That's why I put it in. But, you know, when you have parents who can't speak thoroughly, this is what happens. This is what you bump into.
Have y'all heard of the chick that unalived her boyfriend because he gave her HIV? He was always very sickly, and he told her that he had sickle cells. She even questioned the meds. There was time he would get so sick that he would ask her to take him to the hospital, but he would never allow her to come in or go to his doctor's appointments, but she respected his boundaries, his privacy, or whatever. And then one day they're all at a cookout, his family's cookout, and then a cousin drinking, and you know, a drunk mind speaks a sober heart. He was just like, I really appreciate you being there for my cousin, because you know, the last girl, once she found out about his sickness, she ran off. We never seen her again, but the fact that, you know, you holding him down, that shows a lot about you. And she's like, I know, sickle cells is no joke. Sometimes I feel so bad because I can't take away his pain. And the cousin drunkenly is like, sickle cells, who got sickle cells? And she was like, your cousin. He's like, damn, he got sickle cells too? So she's like, what are you talking about? He's like, nah, he got HIV, like snitching. So once he realized, like, oh, no, she confronted her man at the cookout, cussing his ass out, fighting him. The mother intervened. The mother was like, oh, you don't put your hand on my son, you know, coddling her son. She got mad and went in the car, got her pew-pew, and shot him and his mama. Mama fighting for her life. He's dead.
Wow. In that case, it's not right what he did. But you don't do something like that to someone. You got something that terminal that can, and I gotta say this. He didn't have HIV from the way she said he was sickly, because now you get the medicine, you can live with it. Like people like, look how Magic Johnson's walking around, never sickly, always in talk shows for NBA, continuously. The man has gained weight, he's flourishing with it. Nowadays, the kind of medicines they got, you can flourish with it. This man probably didn't have those kind of medicines. I'm guessing because he was sick. And I know now they have certain ways you can't even detect it in your system. But he didn't have those kind of drugs. I don't know about it, to be honest with you. I don't know about it. I just avoid it. And that's why, no matter what, this is what people have to do these days. No matter if you want to be a passport boy and travel. Actually, I'll tell you this. Right now in DR, a lot of guys are out there, and I don't consider guys that travel for sex passport bros. I consider them sex tourists. So there's a lot of sex tourists down in the DR smashing these women raw, catching it. And that's on you. You out there catching it, that's on you. But yeah, what she did, it's not okay. But I kind of understand her.
Kids, but I can catch.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you something. We don't care.
Let's hear it.
And I'm going to tell you why, okay? I have experience, okay? That means I am well seasoned.
Well seasoned. That's what you want to call it. All right, we'll call it that. Let's keep going.
I am aged with wisdom, okay? Because, you know, a lot of us is out here getting old and ain't getting wise. So let me put that out there. I'm getting older and wiser.
Who's going to tell her?
All right? So I have a lot of knowledge to bring to the table, okay? A lot of level-headedness that I have grown to acquire, all right? By the grace of God, all right? And also, on top of all of the intangible things.
Two things. Everything you just listed that you bring to the table really has no value to a man. And secondly, if it did have value to him, he can find it in a woman that does not have 5 kids.
Mm-hmm.
But let's keep going.
I am highly good looking. Okay,
She laughed at the end of that statement because she doesn't even believe it. Listen, I'm not saying there's not a guy out there that would want to date you with your 5 kids, but more than likely, it's not going to be the kind of guy that you want.
Man, she laughed, said everything. Because all you're doing, and she knows it, she's just lining up again, right? Join that line to get smashed, knocked down, and scraped, because that's all a man wants from you. And also, not just knock down and scrape, because she needs the makeup. So you got to put the makeup on first, do yourself up nice, wear your nice dress. I'm sure she'll be slamming. I can tell in her features. With the makeup on, with the, you know, they got to layer it on. They layer her face. Woo! She's a quarter piece. And she goes around acting like that. So what you're saying right now, the wisdom, that's nothing to a man. Wisdom. What wisdom are you going to give me? I just reacted to a lady that was 70 years old, said, oh, singleness is a gift. Like, and she has a husband. Like, what are you saying? Let's move on.
outside, okay, and I saw this beautiful man. And these are the type of interactions that I like when I'm outside and I'm talking to men. So I see this man, he's gorgeous, like brown skin, pretty white teeth, beard, gorgeous, right? So he's across the way, I'm over here, he see me, I see him. So I tell him to come over here. I'm like this, right? So he comes over to me and I'm like, I just want to tell you that you are gorgeous. And he's like, oh, thank you so much. You're beautiful. And I'm like, thank you. And I was like, I just had to tell you, like, you are gorgeous. And he said something and he was like, it's my birthday. Or somebody said like happy birthday to him. Somebody had came up to him and said happy birthday. I was like, oh, it's your birthday? I said, would you like a drink? Because you know, men talking about, do I ever buy? Yes, I buy drinks all the time.
No, she don't.
I'm not a brokey.
Okay?
That was never the issue. Like I said.
No,
but I said, he was like, it's his birthday. I said, oh, it's your birthday. I said, would you like a drink? He said, no. Do you want a drink?
Of course, he's trying to get some.
I'll buy you a drink. Yes, that's what real men do.
Run game.
See how that interaction went? I offered, he said no.
Yeah.
I got you. He then proceeds to buy me a drink. Mind you, he goes to like 3 different bars. It takes him a while. He brings me back my drink. And we leave, we exchange numbers.
It worked.
This man just texted me to make sure I got home okay.
It's working.
More of that. See, easy. It's easy. So easy.
Yeah, it's so easy. It's so easy to knock you down. This is a man that understands the inner workings of the female mind. He knows what you all want. Of course, if you offer me to buy a drink, that's manly. I'm not letting a woman buy me a drink. So if I'm single and I'm trying to run game, I'm going to say the same thing. You have men out there with know-how. I would have did the same thing. Let me see. Look at these comments though, because she's ranting about this like it's something big. Look what it says. The bar is low. 92 likes. So if he accepts the drink, he not a real man? Exactly. You offered him the drink. You offered him the drink. If he accepts the drink, I bet you 24 replies. Woman, no, that's not a real man. That's just a gesture. I'm just giving a gesture. Look, this is basic interaction. Exactly. Common sense. He's a real man because he bought a drink. It is okay for us to accept a drink from a woman. Yes, it is. Look what the next guy said. It's called game. Men know what he did. He's a man that understands the inner workings. That's basic stuff. These are the things you learn at a young age of like 18. Seriously, men learn this, but let's move on.
Skin. But I had a thought. I'm really enjoying being single. Like, and I'm not saying that because I don't have a choice. I do. And this is a choice. Just because my breakup wasn't a choice doesn't mean my singleness isn't. I've been asked out, propositioned, whatever, you know, basically since March, which is when my breakup happened. So like, I've just been enjoying getting to know myself without being attached to another person. And I think more people need to do that. I think you need to like know who you are, like get to know you. And this is like my first time during my dating life, right? Where I'm navigating as somebody who does not have low self-esteem. As somebody who absolutely refuses bare minimum ever. And is learning that just because something is offered doesn't mean that it's for you. And me, like, I'm holding space for the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. And That's it. Now, does that mean that every person that I date, like when I do start dating again, is going to be that person, or if the next person is going to be that person? I sure hope.
This drives me nuts. Why does it drive me nuts? Now, she's at the age where she wants to hold out. She just got out of a long relationship. She wants to hold out for her husband. So she feels being single for a while, I can make the right choice, which is true. You can. I think every woman should be single for a while to learn themselves. But what's happening? How many men are approaching? You have a lot of men. Which is confusing because she said she was approached recently. A man approached her with smashing in mind. She's mistaking that for a man approaching for a relationship. Now, she's going to struggle. Why is she going to struggle? Because she's overweight. And they all think they look good. I saw a woman yesterday, a video I reacted to yesterday. She said all men, and she was ugly. And she said all men, 80% of women view 20% of men as unattractive. I'm looking at her like, you know you're unattractive, right? You did look in the mirror this morning, right? Didn't you? They did, but they don't see themselves as that. They see themselves as how they are with makeup. Same thing with her. I'm sure she can contour and put on makeup to make her cheeks smaller and go to the club looking like Beyonce. And that's what she thinks she deserves.
So, because I'm not trying to do. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite word? What's your favorite Greek mythological work and why? And if you say Oedipus, I'm gonna have to block you. I've seen way too many people like jump from relationship to relationship. Some people have never been single ever for like a long period of time. And before the dust is settled or the ink is dried on their past relationship or marriage or whatever, they're already in the next situation. I'm like, what is the rush? So I think regardless of how many years you have left or how many eggs you think you have left, like, first of all, there's plenty of kids on this planet that need a parent. I know you want one that looks just like you. I'm sure science will science its way in the future. Fine. But if that's the reason why you want somebody, you'll never be happy. Do I want kids? Yes. Do I want marriage? Absolutely. Do I want marriage before kids? That is the way to do it. I'm trying to enjoy married life before I enjoy being a mom. But I'm not so desperate to just give anybody and everybody an opportunity because I'm scared that I'm not going to have enough eggs left and that I'm going to be a geriatric pregnancy. I'm working out with an injury at the moment, so I can't work out the way that I want to, but my body's going to be absolutely...
I like her. I like what she's saying. She means well, but she's going to bump into... She has hard times coming. She does. Because she means well, but to what avail? What are you going to accomplish meaning well? Seriously. Because you don't have much time left. And as you said, yeah, you're not doing it because you don't want a geriatric pregnancy. But lady, work on yourself. I'm being for real. Work on your aesthetic. Because when men are a certain way, they know. If they don't know and they don't want to do it, then that's on them. But I knew I had to work on myself. And so that I did. And I made myself into a specimen that I look in the mirror and I'm happy with.
Ladies, there is no law that says you have to settle for a man. Let me say it again. Ladies, there is no law in this world that says you have to settle for a man that you do not want to be with. If you are choosing your peace, your joy, your sanity, your happiness, your home, your kids over a man, if that is what you choose to do with your life, then so be it. So be it. What you gonna do? Get locked up? You gonna go to jail? because you chose your peace over a man, choose yourself. Choose your kids. Okay? That's it. Because ain't no law that says you have to, I have to settle for a man that I don't even want to get into that topic. But ladies, choose you. Period.
Are deciding to stay single. I'm 45 years old, soon to be 46 years old. I am happily divorced. I was in a 28-year relationship, 19-year marriage. So I'm going to share with you my perspective, given that I've been in this long-term committed relationship and marriage, been there, done that, and now being single close to 4 years now. Well, I thought I got
Man, another one. She was married all those years. She comes across like a woman that was young and married a rich older man. I don't know. I'm calling it how I see it. From looking at her face, she has that aesthetic like she may be Filipina or an Asian lady with young jeans, and she got the bag, and now she's talking about how she's happy, trying to push other women to follow the same thing she did. And this is why the marriage rates are where they're at now. This is why men are choosing to opt out because of situations like this. Let me let her finish. I want to hear what she's going to say.
Really lucky that I met my person, and for me, I was committed to this person and really thought that we'd grow old together. Unfortunately, that didn't quite work out. Some of those challenges that I had were misogynistic mindset, a lot of insecurities, jealous, possessive, controlling, manipulative. And to be honest with you, I participated in that experience because I was loyal to my former spouse and my family, and I committed to whatever it took to keep my marriage and my family unit together. But you know what I learned? I learned that I wasn't being loyal and committed to myself. And in this process, I seriously was dying a slow death. And I had stayed around long enough, hoping and wishing that one day things will get better, until I decided to walk away. And then on top of that, this person also was a habitual cheater as well. And he blamed me for all of his insecurities. And when he cheated, I got the brunt of it, and I got gaslit, and I got blamed that I was a cheater when he was the one being the cheater. So red flag number one, if you are in a relationship and your spouse or significant other is blaming you of cheating, that's a red flag. It's because they're the one who's cheating. So anyway, now that I'm on this side, single. Now, I'd never dated until about a year after I left that relationship. As an adult, I was never, ever single as an adult. And at that time, I think turned 42. I just turned 43. And there's quite a bit of women out there like myself who met their husbands really young and never dated. Anyway, no one taught me about dating. So I went in there fully committed to the experience. And while it was fun, I didn't particularly like the mindset, the maturity level, as well as the games and all the crazy stuff that a lot of men are playing. You can tell that they've been playing these games for a while with women. So yeah, why don't I tell you the reason why a lot of women, including myself, focusing on our lives and preferring to be single. One, if you get married, usually the woman, because of the current construct and expectations when a woman enters a marriage, especially religious expectations, cultural expectations, the woman does handle most of the responsibilities at home. There's no such thing as 50-50 in a relationship. And studies and statistics have showed that women handle way more, including getting pregnant, baking babies in our bellies for 9 months. A guy can't do that. There's no such thing as 50-50. And
you can't make this up.
Women, we do get tired, sicker, We age faster, not only because of having to be mothers, handling everything in the household, most of it, and then having to have a career as well to help sustain the household, and then you have to take care of your partner. A lot of women are feeling underappreciated, as well as having to experience mental, emotional, and physical abuse from their significant other. And if you
I can't do it anymore. I can't sit back and listen to another minute of them talk about their struggles. Like she didn't get out of the marriage with a payday. I'm sick of it. And they get on TikTok, get TikTok money, and act entitled like they figured out the key to the game, the key to make $1 million. Like they've unlocked the master key to life.
On Instagram, someone's either getting engaged or having a baby.
No, for real though, but why are they all our age?
No, that's the thing.
What have we done wrong?
No, it makes it seem like there's something wrong, right? With where we're at and like being single. I don't know. I feel like my friends that are in relationships.
See, I like this here. I like this. They're being realistic. They're saying, I'm going through it. I don't like it. I need to work on something. Maybe they'll have a chance. They're close to that epiphany age, or they're at the epiphany age. Maybe they'll have a chance. I feel when women hit this age, it's either you get it right or you get it wrong. So they're at the crossroads right now.
Tries to play like matchmaker with me and like match me up with people, and I get the heart behind it, but it also makes me feel like there's a problem, you know, or like they're saving me from being single. If that makes sense.
Or like you're not there yet. You haven't met your destination yet. But then I'm thinking like God made singleness. So what's wrong with it?
Yeah, and I think like even when Jesus talks about life, right, and like life in its fullness, isn't that singleness though? Like, isn't that the time to live life to its fullness and not to wait for the times to go by, but to actually enjoy your life right now?
Honestly, I agree. Like you have all the time that you can do anything you want.
Yeah.
You can spend time with God. You can dig deep into the Word, get to know your Bible, spend time with friends, get to know yourself in the Lord. Like, you've got all this time to explore, you know? Like singleness is a great time, and it's actually a season to be cherished, because who knows? You actually don't know how long it'll last. It might last forever, it might last a week. not the phrase.
See, they're coming from a different perspective. The way they're talking, it comes across like they're Christian women, and they're talking about waiting. And this is a great conversation. As I said, I don't see anything wrong with this when women are at this stage, especially if you have your head screwed on right. It seems like they both do. And yes, this day and age, you do have some guys that are used to playing games, and you have girls, mostly girls, right? that's fact. But yeah, they may have a chance, but the way things are nowadays, it's hard out here. Why is it hard? Because guys have realized it's definitely more to life. To being involved with non-appreciative women, like some of the modern women you saw in this video. But thank y'all for watching. Peace out. See you next video.